My name is Mohammed, along with Caitlin, Jared, Zachariah, and Tiffany. Today, we'll discuss Six Sigma in terms of project management through its methodology, principles, techniques, and tools. Six Sigma is a set of techniques and tools for process improvement. It was introduced by engineer Bill Smith while working at Motorola in 1986. The word sigma is a statistical term that measures how far a process deviates from perfection. The central idea behind Six Sigma is if you can measure how many defects you have in a process, you can systematically figure out how to eliminate them and get them to as close to zero defects as possible. The important thing to bring away from Six Sigma is the DMAIC methodology, which we'll discuss further in our presentation.
In order for someone to be considered a Six Sigma professional, one must go through a certification process that's associated with belt levels. Each of these belt levels of certification correspond to varying degrees of Six Sigma knowledge and skills that are gained through training, testing, and active learning. The most well-known Six Sigma certification level hierarchy has 5 levels. These belt levels from the bottom to the top are white, yellow, green, black, and the Master Black Belt. It's important to note here that some Six Sigma communities do not recognize the white belt as a level, and others may call the highest belt level a champion. The lowest levels start with a basic introduction to Six Sigma concepts. Then collecting and organizing data for statistical analysis as well as practicing methodology become forefront for the middle levels. Later, tools, techniques, and principles are mastered and are followed by mentorship and training others in Six Sigma methodology at the top of this hierarchy.
Six Sigma uses the DMAC methodology to improve existing projects. DMAC stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control. Define. The problem must be defined using a problem statement. The problem should have both a high impact and be a problem that is possible to solve with the resources available. This step also requires defining the goal to fix the problem and defining the process needed to reach the goal by creating a process map. Defining both the problem and the process correctly is critical for setting the team in the right direction for the entire project. Measure. The problem and current process must be quantified. Measurements need to be defined and, if needed, created. This is done to create a baseline. This baseline can then be used to measure the impact the new project has on improving the problem. Measurement is needed throughout the entire life of the project to make sure the project is on track. Analyze. Using statistical analysis can help the team narrow down the root causes of the problem. Analyzing successful improvements can also help the team create future projects to improve the process or product. And analyzing failures can help the team identify the changes that need to be made to prevent future failures. Improve. The team must brainstorm ideas for fixing the problem and then pick the best solution and implement this solution. Control. The team must have a plan for monitoring the project and a plan for responding to issues that may occur. The new process that is being used should be documented carefully so that anyone can easily see how the process was conducted. The process should be improved continuously throughout the project.
Six Sigma uses various tools for its define phase, measure phase, analyze phase, improve phase, and control phase. I will show you a few examples. In the define phase, project managers will often use a project charter. A project charter is a document used to define different characteristics of a project, such as the project name, sponsor, and description. In the measure phase, a project manager will insert inputs and outputs of a project. These inputs and outputs will be placed in different sections of the chart, depending on the importance and requirements of the project. In the analyze phase, a project manager will often use a chart called a fishbone diagram. In this diagram, a team can insert different topics such as equipment and processes, as well as the primary causes of issues pertaining to that subject. In the improve phase, a risk assessment chart will be used. A project manager will insert different types of risk into their locations. These risks will be located based on the level of consequences and likelihood of these risks damaging the project. As the final phase, the control phase uses a statistical graph to help display data. This graph will allow a project to see if all phases have been completed correctly. If Six Sigma has been applied correctly, all information will hover around the process average. But if there is any issues, the chart will display any information in the lower and upper control limit.
Six Sigma has been used successfully across several industries. They include healthcare, aerospace, defense, construction, manufacturing, retail, and finance. We will cover some of the benefits Six Sigma has been credited for in IT, healthcare, manufacturing, and business. In healthcare, Six Sigma has been used to combat healthcare-associated infections, HAIs, in post-surgery patients. After a review of patients over 4 years, Six Sigma methodology was used to identify variables associated with risk of HAIs. Through Six Sigma, corrective actions were put into place to reduce their numbers. The newly instituted practices reduced the average number of hospitalization days by 20% in surgery patients. In business, Six Sigma has been embraced by some of the world's most recognizable major businesses, including Amazon, Ford, General Electric, Motorola, and Northrop Grumman, just to name a few. Amazon has used Six Sigma concepts to hire the best and brightest from top schools from around the world. GE customers have saved more than $400 million since their implementation of Six Sigma. Motorola, Six Sigma's developer, has credited over $16 billion in savings since its adoption of Six Sigma methodologies in the 1980s.
Overall, Six Sigma has been used worldwide across many different industries to improve projects. Along with improving projects, Six Sigma is put into place to define a problem, measure the problem, analyze the problem, and control projects. Following these procedures will ensure positive results among any project being developed or improved. My team and I have discussed the importance of Six Sigma along with its techniques, tools, and methodology. Six Sigma has numerous benefits attached to it, and anyone who follows the Six Sigma approach will not regret it. Thank you.